Hi everybody, it's Annie at Vintage Lace Journal, and today I'm going to be carrying on my project, which is my envelope, junk mail envelope journal, which I started. Obviously you've seen me make the journal, do the covers and things, and all of the images I'm going to be using are from this book. So like I said before, I've begun to fussy cut quite a lot of these out, and I've been putting them in here. But there are also pages that I'm going to use that are going to be sort of kind of images I can just tear out or just use as a background. So I'm going to be using a mixture of both of those. Also, I might use some backing paper. So this one's a nice one with lots of butterflies on it. And then I've also got one with kind of like a pinky, purpley blue background base. Now, I'm not sure I'm going to get all of this done on camera today. It's quite a lot of, obviously, pages in here. And once I do one page like that, it's going to be very similar to another one. What I have done, just to let you know, is I've popped a key on here. So I've tied that onto my spine. I just popped a bit of glue because it kept coming undone. Wishing I hadn't done that now, because every time I turn, it's kind of like clicking on my surface, but hey ho. And also I've popped some lace, obviously vintage lace, on the inside. So that shows on the outside here. And then I also popped some on the back as well. You know, I have great love of lace. Now, also from that, I had some little snippets that were cut off. Don't ever throw these away, because obviously you can use these with some washi tape and buttons and create kind of like little snippets. So I will be keeping all my little bits I do cut off. Washi tape is something else I'm going to use in my project today. Loads and loads of different washi tapes. I've got some florally ones, some one with leaves on them. So they're going to come in handy as well. I've also popped out some buttons from my button collection that might link in with the colour theme. I've also got these. Might be popping some of those on for charms on the side of pages. Corner rounder. I've got a load of these little tickets in here, which are numbers, dates and things that go with the flowers and things. I've got a few doilies. I might pop some of those in. And I've got lots of different types of width of jute ribbon, thicker one, thinner one, twine, and also some different coloured lace. This is kind of like grab all the things you think you might need. My desk is an absolute mess as usual, so you'll find me looking for things as we go along. Also got kind of like a script stamp here. You're going to be coming along this process with me kind of like doing it as I go along. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is look at our very first page here. So this was a brown envelope that was done up from the side, and I trimmed the end off that to make our first pocket here. And all I've done so far is I've just trimmed out a piece of craft card which will fit in there, and this is going to be like a journaling card. Now the card I purchased is recycled, so the back is quite plain. You can see all those marks on there where obviously different papers have been put together and mulched together when it's been recycled. I really do like that kind of look. Better the environment, obviously it's recycled paper, and it's quite a nice kind of fit. Sorry, thickness, not fit. Okay, so I've measured that to go in here, and I've left it so there's a little bit of a tab popping out, which I'll put a tab onto there so it's obviously easy to pull out. And we're going to think about decorating that tag or journaling card, so when it goes in, something on the card there is going to be seen through. Okay, so I'm going to dive into my bits and pieces. I think I've just literally just seen the one I want to do, because I think that would look beautiful. I can pop that on there, double check. Lovely. Just have another quick look, see if there's anything else I fancy. So this is a fun part, obviously thinking about all the different things I've cut out, what would go, what wouldn't go. Obviously tall things like this are going to get lost once you put it inside on the tag. And then again, that's quite nice as well. And I think they peep through there quite nicely. Definitely that one. Okay, so I'm going to cover the tag before I do anything else. So I'm going to be a mixture of book papers, just like you do normally when you collage something. So just going through the process now of tearing bits and pieces out. So I'm going to start with a book page. And I roughly think that's going to cover most of my back, I think. And this again is from a German book that I found at my local charity shop, quite an old book, it's very aged paper. So I'm going to pop that out of the way. So I'm going to have that there. Just going to go ahead and ink the edges of both my card and the paper. So just coming around with some ink. Just to lift those edges up. It's really warm in my craft room this afternoon. I've actually had some sunshine here in the UK today, so it's been very welcome. Again, because this is thin paper, I'm just going to not try and go round because it will just tear it. So just dab across the edges. There we go. So I'm just going to glue this on the back with my Pritt stick. And I've just got a junk magazine here that came through the post, which is always good as a glue book. So around the edges, really make sure obviously those edge parts have lots of glue on. Okay. So thinking about our in there. Just age up a doily. Again, just pop it onto my acrylic block and just pop over. You can tea dye things like this, but they're so small. It takes just a few seconds just to whiz around that, and it doesn't. When you tea dye doilies, they too tend to warp quite a lot. So I might just stick that behind there. That on there. And when I'm using doilies, I use one of these dotty pens because it obviously puts the glue just on the bits you need it. I think that's actually right. I have another one. Okay, so pop my doily on there. And then I'm going to bring back in my journal to line this up. Okay, so journal card goes in like that. And they need to sit there. So I'm just going to mark top and bottom. Actually, it works out quite well because the bottom just sits on the bottom of the doily. So I'll just pop some glue onto that. There we go. And double check. Perfect. So that journaling card sits in there with those lovely flowers shining through that window. So what I'm going to do now is just pop a little tab on the side. And I've got some of this corrugated card here. I'm just going to tear a piece of that off. And create a tab. Just going to slightly straighten that edge up so it glues really well. So just popping on a wet glue. And when I do a tab, cover the whole of the back of the tab so it sticks to the project and it sticks to itself as well. So there we go. And then what I might just do is pop some form of wording up here. Like I said, I've got lots of these stickers. one of them on there. That's not wanting to stick, so I'm just going to come in with my stapler. So there we are, my first journaling card done. Just takes a few things just to lift up from the page, and then that's obviously going to pop itself in there. So for the outside of this page, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use another book page. I'm just going to take that out while I'm doing this. So again, just roughen up the edges. Taking off that border. Okay, and then I'm going to pop that there. And before I do, I'm just going to mark on where my window is. And I'm just going to cut a bit more off the bottom there, just to straighten that up. So I roughly want to take out this kind of part here. Now when I cut this, I'm not going to be overly straight, I'm just going to zigzag the scissors to give it that kind of torn look. There we go. And then I'm just going to bring in my ink and ink my edges. Being really careful now not to rip that delicate edge in the middle. And just ink the inside of that part as well. There we go. And again, I'm just going to wet glue that down. And make sure that holds in there. There we go. So I'm going to put my card back in now, just so I can see how that looks. Good, happy with that. And then I'm just obviously going to decorate this part up here. So the front down here, I think I'm going to bring in a flower. Just want something along the bottom. Pull them all out now, can't find anything. I don't think I actually need many flowers on there. I might put some butterflies and some more of these stamps. One of them up there. I might actually put a little cluster there. Or should I? I'm just thinking I want something across this part. I'm thinking butterflies. I've actually organised myself this week. I bought lots of these little plastic wallets and started to cut things out so they're ready to go. Looks nice. Now, do I have it on the angle or do I have it straight? I think on an angle. So I'm going to cover just that slight corner there. And I might just have this one on the top part. So just run it over a pencil, gives you that kind of curved edge. There we go, so that's our first page done. So we've got our envelope with our tag inside. Now to decorate the other side, I think I'm going to use pattern paper this time and create a pocket. So this is quite a nice colour. So down the bottom, just going to mark off that there, and I'll probably have it about to there. So I'm just going to quickly trim that. I've got no room on my desk, it's on my chair. There we go, perfect. Just pop some ink over the edges. Do that. Just pop a little thumb notch in it. And straight away that brown ink just makes everything look so vintagey straight away. I just love the look. Obviously if you don't want to ink yours, you don't have to. And then just some glue along the edge and the bottom. And then always remember just to give it a little bit of squeeze in, which gives that little room for your tag to go inside. Now another thing I'm going to use on this as well is some stencils. So I've got the butterfly theme here, and I've got this lovely stencil with the butterflies. So I'm going to come on the back of that. And we've got blue in there, so I'll get the same theme of blue. So just get blue ink. Just change my pad. And then I'm just going to go over this stencil to create a background, which is a lovely easy way. Sometimes we've got lots of pattern papers and busy things going on. That stencil can be a really good effective way to get a nice background, and it's so easy. So what I'm actually going to do is come in with a darker blue. Picked up these little chalk inks. These are Deco Time. I've heard of them before. Coming in a huge variety of different colours. So I'm just going to pop that back over again. And just go over the bottom ones slightly darker. And kind of build, if I do half of these ones as well, kind of fades the colour. So there we have that lovely background coming off there. Okay, so all I need to do that one is a tag. So we've got our pocket in there and a tag for this one. So again, I'm just going to pop in with my, I'll use the other side of that, because it's already there, it's already cut. So just going around the bottoms. Find my tag. I'll use this one. There we go. And I'm going to put a bit of ribbon on here. So I'm not going to punch a hole, this is quite thick ribbon. So cut it into a V shape, and then again I'm going to staple that on. Just making sure it's straight and in the middle. There we go. And then from the same paper pad, I'm just going to quickly fussy cut a butterfly to pop on the side of the card. And that just gives it a little bit of extra. So remember, when a fussy cut, and always turn the paper, just makes it easier rather than turning the scissors. There we go. Just going to lift the edges of that with the same blue. And then pop that down. There we go. And pop that in there. So that's our first page done. So this one, if you remember, it was cut at the bottom. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to cut this at the top as well, and then I'm going to glue it down here, and I'm going to create a belly band. Hopefully. Right, let's grab my scissors. So the bottom's already open, so I'm going to cut the top, just a really thin sliver. Okay. So now that goes all the way through, and I'm then going to cut a sliver off the edge. Okay, so that's opened up my envelope, but what I will do is I'm going to decorate the inside of this. I'm thinking actually I might tear that bit off. Go with the flow. It's gone. Okay, this is going to be a pocket. So I'm just going to neaten up that edge there, because this will become the background where the belly band is going to sit. There we go. And just pop a notch. I might use a smaller punch actually just to get in there. Okay, so I've now created like a background page for this to be decorated, and then I'm going to pop this on top, but I am going to lift it so it's kind of like got that dome effect in there. Only a very slight one, this will still be okay when you shut it, still shut okay, but it gives that kind of like slight dome effect over there. So first of all, I'm going to decorate the front of this. Now this is going to need quite a lot of covering, because it's garish colours. Let's have a look what we've got. So I'm thinking I might put that along the bottom after some paper. I'm going to come in with some different paper. Ruler. So this needs to be, always go just when I'm doing this, going slightly over, not to the edge, just slightly over. So that's going to be to there. Oh, that brings back memories. Remember to do that at school? Ping on the edge of the ruler. So I'm going to pop that one there. And this one the same size. Perhaps I was just a naughty child at school. Perhaps you don't have memories of that. And so I'm hoping now these will go side by side. And I can just cut that part off. So let's cover all this in glue. There we go. Just that little overlap bit didn't get any glue. Let's just put that in there. And then I'm going to use this bit from the side. Just tear that white bordery bit off, and again I'm quite happy for that to overlap. Actually, it needs to be a bit wider. Too wide. There we go. Perfect. So just gluing that bit down. And these overlaps don't matter because obviously you're going to go over the top of here. Just remember that my envelope stops there. So as you can see, it's overlapped ever so slightly there, but it doesn't matter. So another part for this side. So up to about there. Glue. Just making sure, I'm going to ink the edge so it doesn't matter if that bit's a bit green. And then this part along here. Try and do it without the ruler. It's too thick. Roughly about right. So once that's all done, that's gone round that quite nicely. I'm then going to obviously ink the edges. Bring in my acrylic block. It's just the way I find it easiest to do. And just go round. And then on the inside of that part as well. There we go. So that's created a kind of like frame that will be our belly band. I'm going to I might trim a little part of that. So I've now got a blank canvas for here. So thinking about what's going to go in the window here. And obviously what's going to then look nice underneath. So I've got those nice big yellow flowers, which I do think really do sit nicely behind there. Bring that down just a little bit. So I'm happy for that to go there. So again, it's just decorating the background of this time. And I'm going to use another stencil with some brown ink. So just pop the stencil over. Would be better to actually stick this down rather than hold it in case it moves, but I'll just hold as I go along. So I've really got into stencil again at the minute. I've been doing something called a fodder challenge over the end of July, and it was just a really nice way to kind of like try different techniques, different way of creating art. I think it's really good sometimes just push yourself out of your comfort zone. I think you get caught in doing the same kind of art day in, day out. So it was really good to do something different. So that's created that beautiful background, really nice and easy again. And then flowers will sit beautifully on there and they still pop out, which is lovely. So just getting them in the right position. I think I'm going to have to cut some of the bottom off, but that's fine. So bring that down slightly. I'm happy with that there. And because this is wet glue, this is a Collall all-purpose glue, it does give you a little bit of wiggle time. It's not going to go on and dry straight away. So think about where I want that in there. And then once you're happy, I can press that down. Now this part behind here, where the thumb notch is going to go, I'm actually going to cover all of that in the brown. And that lets that little notch up top then pop out. Then I've got this cute little flower here, so I might just pop that there. I am going to pop some of the hessian down. This is like hessian on a roll, so I'm going to pop some of that along the bottom. Just going to wait for my glue gun to heat up. So I'm going to pop that there with that flower on. And on the top part, I've got this smaller hessian that I'm just going to pop along there. So just measure and cut. And just again line things up. Have another little play. I think I might pop another butterfly on this side as well. So I'll just go back to my butterflies while I'm just waiting for my glue gun to heat up. It's a bit too orangey. Just now finding the right colour. I think I want kind of like a yellowy browny colour. A bit too big. One of my jobs is actually to sit and fussy cut now some butterflies. I've done lots of fussy cutting with flowers, but not butterflies. And again, when I'm cutting, I just like to leave a really small, tiny little white border, just because that kind of like lifts it up from the page. Which is also good if you're cutting flowers out, because sometimes it's impossible. Like these ones here, it would be impossible to cut inside there. So having that border gives you that kind of ability to just have the whole flower without spending hours with a knife trying to cut the insides. There we go. Right, it's got my flower ready, my hessian ready. Here's my glue gun ready. So bead of glue along there. Put that down. And then just blob some glue on the back of this because it will be quite hard to stick onto hessian. And then for the top one, another small bead of glue and pop that one on. And then the last thing I'm going to do is just to lift that and just stick that down there. And I am going to use hot glue because it needs to hold quite well. There we have 3D kind of image on the page. So I've done a variety so far. So we've got this tab here with our journaling card in. We've got a pocket with some stenciling on the background, another card in there, and then we've got our belly band in here with our beautiful picture behind. Okay. So I might just, there's a pocket in there, so obviously I'm going to do a card. I won't do a card on, another one on camera again. I'm going to have a look to do, obviously have that belly band there. I might just do this middle page, or shall I not? I'm going to use another stencil actually. So I've got this one, this is Helen Colebrook stencil with flowers on. And pop that on there. And again, I'm just going to come in with my ink. Before I do that, I'm just going to pop some paper behind, just so I don't go on to my next page. So just think about getting maximum flowers on there. So again, going in with that brown ink. One of my things to buy is the brushes. I think the brushes would be better. I think foam pads, when you're trying to do this, break up the foam. Because obviously you're rubbing it over like a plastic. So that's not great for these foam ones, but the brushes would be really good at this. I also made my first Temu order this week. I've seen a lot of unboxing and I needed a lot more papers. I'm running out of kind of like, well, not running out, but the kind of papers that I'm using in my projects I don't have many of, and our range store recently has been absolutely terrible for restocking their papers. Be interesting to see where a lot of you get. I know a lot of you use digital kits, but but it's then printer costs and things. But then I suppose if you're spending money on a £7 or £8 paper pad, in the long run I suppose it's more cost effective. But yeah, thoughts below: paper pads, digi-kits, any favourite digi-kits you've got. Be nice to kind of like broaden my horizons to sort of see what else is out there. Okay, so wow, love that effect. So that's a really simple effect for a page. Don't have to do anything much else over that. But it might just be a case of getting something like this, perhaps, or because it's that kind of daisy effect, just replacing one of these daisies with one of those. What else have I got here? And perhaps something at the bottom, or I could have blues. That's quite nice. I don't know if the blues and the browns go very well though. Quite liking the yellow. Again, it's just giving you a base. They look quite nice together, or just the one. And again, this is a pocket at the top, so I'm just going to go in and notch that. Where's it gone? Oh, on the floor. I think just a nice simple yellow flower. So I'm going to stop there for today, because obviously it's getting to be quite a long video already. You have to let me know below, should I do another video carrying on, or I might just do some of this in my own spare time and then just do a flip through video. Because there's quite a lot to do in here. And obviously that's taken me 45 minutes, and I've just done 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, and that's without all the tags in. So yeah, I think I'll leave it there for today. And I think what I'll do is I'll carry on off screen, and then I might just have a flip through and then talk you through some of the processes that I've done. Because once you've done one kind of page, obviously with the card inserts and this kind of thing going on, that hasn't worked so well as I've liked it to. Because obviously it's crinkled a little bit there. But you don't know these things until you try it, do you? So yeah, I'm going to carry on this off camera, and I will do a flip through in the next few days, just to show you how far I've got. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.